The dark woods of eastern Massachusetts hide many secrets. Some of the strangest invertebrates, reptiles, and amphibians are right at home in these northern forests and are just waiting to be discovered. Since I find myself in this lush, beautiful habitat, I've decided to take a look around where I'm staying and see what I can uncover. Well, right now I find myself in Massachusetts. I'm at a Verbo that is in the middle of the woods, and I thought, this is a great opportunity to hunt down some cool insects and spiders. There's great habitat all around me. There's thick forest. I've already seen some really cool stuff, so I thought, let's get out and do some exploring. Now, when you're in a new place like this, exploring and looking for creatures, you want to start somewhere where you know they're going to be hiding. So looking in like thick foliage or underneath objects like rocks or logs is also a really good spot to find more subterranean creatures.
I see a salamander. Max can try to use the container to catch it. I feel like it might be more effective.
Because they're really slippery to grab with your hands without injuring them. Yes. So we got a salamander. This is a red-backed salamander. I put a little water in my hand so he won't dry out. Since he's an amphibian, he has a very important slime coating, and if that were to dry out, you could die, which I don't want to happen. Just like frogs and toads, salamanders are an amphibian. Perhaps the strangest thing about the red-backed salamander is that it has no lungs. Using its sensitive, permeable skin, it breathes through cutaneous respiration, where oxygen is absorbed directly through the skin. However, this means it can dry out very easily, so it hides in dark, moist spaces where it's protected. But the red-backed salamander is actually different than most. Most salamanders have a life cycle similar to frogs. They lay their eggs in the water, the eggs will hatch into little larval salamanders, which will then grow up in the water and metamorphose into land-dwelling adults. However, the redback skips one of those steps. It just lays its eggs directly in a moist spot on land where they hatch into baby salamanders. Since amphibians are such delicate creatures, they're a good marker for the surrounding environment. If there's a healthy population of salamanders, frogs, and toads, then the habitat is in good condition. These red-backed salamanders are abundant here, which shows that I'm in a habitat rich with wildlife. One creature I noticed was quite plentiful here were spiders. They were in the grass, on the fences, and in the cracks and crevices of the house. Most of the spiders I found here were very small, but as I was examining the foundation of the house, I ran into one of the larger species. I see a spider moving along the base of the house. Where did it go? There we go. Some kind of wolf spider there. This spider was unfamiliar to me. It was definitely a wolf spider, but it wasn't a species I knew of. A little Googling showed me the answer: a rustic wolf spider. This right here is a rustic wolf spider. This is actually a new species for me as far as I know. I don't think I've ever found one of these before. Probably one of the larger spiders you're going to be seeing up north. So wolf spiders are a very common species to find in your backyard. Yeah, they're not going to be building webs. Instead, they're a hunter. So they'll stalk the ground like a wolf. That's how they get their name. And they have very good eyesight, so they watch for any insects moving nearby. And when they see one, they hunt it down and then pounce on it. They plunge their fangs through its exoskeleton and envenomate it. A spider's venom serves two purposes. It kills its prey, but it also breaks down the body of the insect and makes it easier for the spider to consume. The bite of a rustic wolf spider is strong enough to kill something like a grasshopper or a cricket, but the venom would have no serious effect on a human. Wolf spiders might look a little scary, but you can see he's not aggressive in any way. He's not going to try to bite me unless I were to hurt him, which I won't. And they're very beneficial animals to have because they're eating all kinds of pest insects that you wouldn't want in your yard. So seeing a lot of spiders like this is a very good sign of a balanced ecosystem. So far, I had found several interesting creatures during the day, but when evening came on, I knew that the coming darkness would completely change my surroundings,
and bring out all kinds of animals.
Alright, I was walking up on this fence and I see a garter underneath here. The problem is, if I try to catch him, he's gonna go underneath. I gotta grab it. Yes, I got it. Oh, I had it. There we go. Hope he doesn't bite me. Alright, this is really cool. I was hoping to catch a snake. There aren't that many different species of snakes in Massachusetts, so it makes sense that we got a garter snake here. Alright, this is an eastern garter snake, which I've certainly seen before. I've seen probably hundreds of these. However, this one actually looks different than the ones I find in southern Georgia. The ones I see there are usually greenish and checkered or very dull gray. This one has those beautiful yellow stripes going on the body that they're really known for. It's actually where they get their name. Their stripes are supposed to look like men's garters, hence they get the name garter snake.
This snake has come out at dusk to hunt. Garter snakes eat primarily amphibians, so this serpent is prowling in search of frogs and salamanders, looking for a meal.
Garter snakes love to eat amphibians like frogs, toads, salamanders, also invertebrates like worms and slugs. I've seen a lot of slugs out here, so he's got plenty of prey to keep him occupied.
Now this snake isn't dangerous, but it is venomous. Garter snakes have a mild venom in their saliva that helps to subdue prey. Their venom isn't delivered through fangs. Instead, when the snake bites something, it chews on its prey to direct the toxic saliva into the bite.
Alright, a really cool Massachusetts reptile. I think I'll go let him go now.
After I released the snake, I moved further into the back of the property. It was here in the grass that I found perhaps the strangest creature I had seen yet.
Look what I just stumbled on right here. This is a really colorful and interesting millipedes crawling through the lawn. Millipedes aren't too hard to catch because they're very slow. Look at that. These guys are really cool. He's curling up in a ball. This is a defensive maneuver that he's going to do. He's trying to expose his hard exoskeleton to whatever predator has attacked him. So this is one of the flat-sided millipedes. And most millipedes are very rounded. This one kind of looks like it's been crushed. They're very, very flat, and that's how they get their name. You can probably pick up that he's quite colorful. And there is a reason for that. This isn't just decoration. He is very toxic. In fact, most flat-sided millipedes have cyanide as a defense. So if you smell him, yeah, they smell very sweet. They smell like almonds. If you ever smelled a bottle of almond extract, these smell almost exactly the same. That's because both almonds and these millipedes have cyanide in them. Now, if I were to eat this millipede, I don't think I would die from cyanide poisoning. I'd probably get sick though, so I wouldn't recommend chowing down on one of these. And since this millipede is toxic, hopefully that will mean that any predators that come across it would think twice before they try to eat it.
A toxic defense is one of the best ways to survive in the natural world. If predators find a creature distasteful or even dangerously poisonous, then they will usually leave it alone. It's truly amazing that such bizarre animals are living so close to the human world. I didn't have to hike into the wilderness to encounter any of the creatures I found in this video. They're living all around us. You just have to look. My time spent in Massachusetts has certainly been productive. It was a thrill to find new animals that I had never encountered before and observe their strange lives. I hope you enjoyed exploring with me, and I'll see you next time on Nature Tales.